And we are live. Wednesday night with those guys, and Wednesday night with those guys is sponsored by
Those
those
guys.
guys.
You know what?
Welcome everyone to Wednesday night with those guys, and it is the middle of the week. Hump day.
Yes, it is.
Weather's looking pretty good out there, and I guess the TFR has just about ended, right, Lawrence?
Yes, it just
almost an
ended.
hour ago or so.
Give or take, yeah.
There's a TFR here in the tri-state area, and pretty much ruining everyone's beautiful day. I don't know how the wind was. I wasn't out flying because, like I said, it was a TFR, so it wasn't a good day to fly. So, how's it going there, Lawrence?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Sitting here. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. I'm good, man. Like you said, it was a TFR here in New York. The POTUS was in town, politicking and doing something upstate New York. But I'm fine. I had footage to edit. I had photos
that extended so far, huh? The TFR, that's why it extended so far.
Yeah, he had some news. He had some work to do upstate. And I know usually when he comes into town, he goes out to the island for a little bit. So, they cover every place he's going to be. But what's up with you? I'm good, man.
I'm, same old.
Well,
I'm doing this live
nice.
stream, waiting to see, what's happening here. But,
well, the weather's nice, and like all things, everything must progress. That's my favorite word now: progress and progression.
Well, it is what it is. The weather has been pretty good. We've been able to take advantage of a few days, even though we've had the few days where we had the rain. It was like almost a week.
You're a little low.
Am I?
Yeah, maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
How low is it?
All right, that's a little better. That's a little. Yeah. Because I had to turn my monitor up a little more than I usually do.
Oh,
either you're sitting way back from your mic, or you're just low.
No, I didn't think I was that far from the mic, but
no, you're okay. You're okay after that minor adjustment. But I've gotten a chance to fly.
Maybe I hit the volume. I don't know.
Maybe. I've gotten a chance to fly lately with my boy. He's new to the drone community, and we went out this week and got some photos. Hey, Bill, coast to coast. I mowed the backyard.
Bill, what's going on, Bill?
He mowed the backyard since he typed that. The party on Herman, party on Lawrence. How are you, Bill? Hope all is well.
How big is the backyard, Bill?
Well, if you remember,
did you just leave the lawnmower sitting there?
If you remember, YouTube is getting smarter and smarter. They're giving us less and less analytics. At one time, they used to have the time next to the name that the person typed that in. They got rid of that. Then they're always doing something here. But
well, you know what? I think what happened with YouTube, and YouTube is going after the whole thing of more people being anonymous. I think it had something to do with a lot of the changes going on. You see now we have just the like button and no dislike.
He says he didn't do the entire backyard, only 70%. Oh, so you just mowed the lawn. You didn't get out there with the trimmer. I get out there. I get the lawnmower out.
Do you have half of it cut down and the other half just still high sitting there?
Well, if the lawnmower doesn't do edges, so if you're going to cut the lawn, you need a trimmer, and then at the edges of the grass, it'll still look like woolly gruff, and let you go create that line. I took pride in that back in the day.
It depends on how
I was a gardener.
It depends on how your lawn is set up.
True, that's true. Well, you saw the old place I was at. I had a little strip in front of the house, and I had maybe on the side of the house a 50-foot strip, and then behind the house was maybe 25 by
Mhm.
about 30.
Mhm.
It wasn't much. So you would cut it, make a few passes, and then come with the trimmer. I had more fun with the trimmer doing the
You
lines
lucky. You
because my
lucky
shit
they
looked
gave you.
crispy.
You lucky they gave you something electric to be out there,
Hey, Johnny Drone Fly, electric, man. My
Johnny.
gas and oil on the trimmer, and gasoline in my
Mm.
lawnmower. Don't ask me to use no electric lawnmower, man.
Gas.
Yeah, gas. Yeah, real
Let me get
gas in
this
a
straight.
lawnmower. Uh,
You had gas on that little trim
No, that was oil and gas. It was gas mixed with that oil combination.
for
They
that
have
little
lawnmowers like
for that
that.
little spot.
Yeah.
You could have used your clippers, bro.
I could not have used my hair clippers, man. Stop it. That's funny. Well, listen, I took pride in my grass because other people on the block, the neighbor did. The neighbor on this side of me, they paid someone. So at least those 3 or 4 houses there, and then you had a yard where people rented and didn't own, which you can tell people who rent over people who don't. Nothing personal against your renters, but y'all don't cut your grass in front of the house because you say it's not your house. You don't shovel in front of your house because you say it's not your house. But when you come out and bust your ass in the snow, oh, I bust my ass in front of my house. You get
Mm-mm.
it, right?
Yeah, I get you.
You
I hear you.
started without you. What's up, Gary? How are you? Johnny Drone Flyer, Bill, coast to coast. It's early. We know the weather's warm. It'll take a few of you guys some.
Johnny, what's going on, Johnny? And what's up? What was that, Gary?
Yeah.
Oh Lord, there goes the neighborhood.
There goes the neighborhood.
There goes the neighborhood.
I
Gary,
would like to. I'd like to break
Gary
bread
don't
with
need
Gary.
you.
I like to sit down and have a meal because you don't know a
I,
person. You
I
don't
really,
know a person, Herman, until you've sat down and broke bread with them. You
I
know
guess,
that?
I guess you're right. But the YouTube Gary, I like him. Yeah,
It's
Lawrence.
nice and warm here too, Johnny. He
Yeah, the
says
weather. I think the weather is pretty good across the
from Texas,
weather-wise.
from
Yeah,
Texas
I
through
mean,
Florida,
I mean,
Atlanta, up the
even
East
though
Coast.
there are a lot of people who were struck with some very bad, disaster. So, I pray for those people that in those areas, and I hope that they can get things back to as whatever normal as possible as be. You know,
How are you gonna tell? You know,
uh, but what
no,
happened?
nothing. I was trying to pull up the weather, but you know what they're doing now? In order to
Oh,
pull up the weather, they're saying, "Give me your email." I'm not giving you my email just to
well,
show you weather.
what I was saying is that there's been people who were hit with some really serious bad, weather with, some of the things that, we're appreciating good weather, but there are people who have had to deal with some things, especially down in the southern area, like in Florida and other places in Texas. So, you gotta, you know, be thankful for what you have. And I
This is
hope
true.
that, those people, like I said, can get, back to as much normal as possible, as quickly as
Yeah,
possible.
I agree with you on that. I do agree.
Um,
When people are disrupted from their homes and stuff, it's tragic, whether it be fire, flood, crazy ex-wife.
I mean,
But
even with insurance, it's still, you have you have your things, you're living your life, you're dealing in ways, and everything is disrupted. So, you know.
right, right. I get it.
But
I do.
I want to say on a lighter note, I mean, I hope that like I said,
Hey, Matt.
can be able to enjoy some of this good weather that we having. But I know today here in the city, the tri-state area, right up to what area? Westchester or somewhere further.
All the way upstate.
Yeah, because we had a TFR that was in effect from what was it? 11:45 to 4:15. So I guess everybody here is out flying. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did you blame them? They couldn't fly all day. Everybody that couldn't fly. This was the TFR today here in New York. They actually turned on sharing. They actually had it up yesterday, which Herman and I found out, and we were like, wait a minute, there's no TFR today because he's coming Wednesday, but they put it up in advance, and this is it right here, the tri-state area. He was supposed to only go upstate New York. How far upstate? I don't remember the exact town, but I know he was in town to go upstate, and then he usually likes to go out to Long Island for whatever the case may be, and then he leaves.
I think he
But
goes out there to get a sandwich.
go out there to get a Philly cheesesteak, right, on the island. Oh, something to that effect. Hey, Merrill.
I don't know. You say he likes to go out there.
Yeah. Well, if I'm in New York, I'm gonna get something to eat from New York too. Who knows? He could fly all the way out there for pizza. He's the president. He can have whatever the hell he wants in the world.
Okay.
What's up, Matt Bagwell, everybody out there? Welcome to Wednesday nights with those guys. It's hump day, and we're just messing around.
Yeah, as Lawrence has said, yeah, it's Wednesday night with those guys, and as you know, Wednesday night with those guys is sponsored by those guys.
Those guys.
The home of where how they say we talk about everything in the drone world and promote the usage of drones.
Yeah, drones for good. We actually even talk a little bit about drone countermeasure, which FYI, I was on LinkedIn this morning.
A whole lot of it on there.
I saw an advertisement,
and
you're gonna start seeing more advertisements on this. And it's, how we have SUAS? Well, now there's a letter C in front of it. So it's CUAS. And what that CUAS,
I'm trying to let my wolf grow in it.
Well, this CUAS is counter UAS.
Yeah,
so just like there's a business for people to how would you say, make money from drones, there's a business out there for people to make money from drones, making countermeasures, counter equipment, stuff like that. I'm looking for a certain video and I cannot find it, so that's okay.
You know what I'm gonna do, Lawrence?
Huh?
I'm gonna buy into some of that stuff that they have for people to have surveillance of their home where drones fly over it.
Yeah,
that they can monitor drones flying over their home.
That would be pretty cool. Have your own, because it's like it would be like having your own little mini airport. It would, first of all, it would be legal. Hey,
to have them monitor drones flying over their home.
No, right? No, have an antenna on your roof, and everyone that flies into your airspace, because it would be your airspace, because you'd be monitoring everything through it. I wonder how that would work out.
All you were doing is watching the drones pass by.
That's okay. I don't care.
Well,
you have people that sit there and listen.
I don't know. You'll be just sitting there, or maybe you'll be sitting there watching a screen for like 40 days and 40 nights of nothing until maybe
true too.
Until maybe a drone passes through there.
Right. The alarms go off, beep, 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 beep. You're eating dinner.
It's like when you get that cable package, right? Right, and you got like 4 channels on there that you watch all the time. 6 that you watch on during the week on occasion, and then there's like that other 4 more that maybe you might go there once a month or so, and then there's like the other 50 that you're never going to use, but you have got them because you have to get those other channels that you must have. And that's how you get stuck with those channels that you never use. And same thing.
A visual line of sight.
But yeah, last week, Lawrence, we talked about this bill that Arkansas had where they had banned the use of what was the ban? What was let's talk about the bill. They had that bill. Was it 1653? That was at now it's now Act 525. Well, they were talking about we mentioned that that they cannot use it prohibits the purchase and the operation of any drones manufactured in a covered entity or such as China and Russia basically. So and we understand that basically it was just an attack on the Chinese made drones. But the one thing that we were saying that how they were talking about that they joined Florida, and the thing we mentioned that had set them apart from Florida was the fact that this bill gave the these public safety entities like such as the police or whatever, the fire department, whatever, to 4 years to comply to such rule, and they all had a way of let's say applying for a waiver to exempt them from the rules completely. So, which means that by the time in the 4 years that the lifespan of the new drones that they may have purchased recently,
the ones they have will or might be comply.
Well, no, the ones that they may have purchased recently, like with the M30, the Mavic 3 Enterprise, those
You
type
still
of drones.
use it up until that time, right?
Right, but they still have a 4-year period, which means that, like we said before last week, that was within like a 4-year period, which is usually like the shelf life of these drones. So, and with the waiver period, with the waiver, you could put in for the exemption of why you need to use these drones. And with that being said, that the next version that may come out, you can probably still purchase those. So this bill was just, I don't know. What was it for?
Yeah, I agree with that. But it's like you said, you only hear stuff like this about drones and guns more so when it's an election year. And we want, without going into politics, we're saying this.
We understand.
It's just kicking it.
We understand that. It's about the money. Because
go ahead.
No, you were gonna say something?
No, I was saying that's what it's all about. It's not about let's make our country better. It's about how we can shit on the average taxpayer, because this thing costs what's going on in Florida is going to cost taxpayers $25 million. And when I say $25 million, because the state of Florida says no more Chinese drones for government and law enforcement, what's happening is they have 4 years before they have to get rid of all their stuff. And now they've had experts, the state of Florida, right, Herman, has had experts come in and say that these DJI drones do not transmit data back, and they're the best drones out there. And now the American-made drones, all of that is going to have to be paid for by the Floridians.
Lawrence?
Yeah.
First off, you're attacking you're attacking a tool that's in the hands
Dan the man
of public safety,
right,
and in the hands of a few. And honestly, the amount of people who own drones to the count in the population, it's a few. With that being said, the one thing that should be the most feared in this country of transmitting or being able to capture any data and transmit any data to any place is this tool right here. You understand? This should be the most feared thing if you're worried about capturing any data.
Yeah.
To be transmitted.
I know, I get that. And this is how you know it's election year. It's bullshit. Every cell phone you have, your SIM cards transmit data when you walk.
Hey,
I've seen a guy walk past.
What's up?
Herman, I've seen a guy walk past a token booth and it go ching, because he had his pass, his paid pass on. He
Mm-hmm.
wasn't even getting on the train, but he just gave someone a free ride
Right.
because his bank card or his phone, you know how they tap to pay now here in New York, right? Yeah. Hey, what's up, Paulie? What's good, man? How are you, Drone Bum?
I don't know.
Good to see
That's
you guys.
craziness.
Oh, he said it was great to see us on Saturday. It was good to see you too,
Hey, what's
Paulie.
going on, Paulie?
And to be honest, Paulie, I really wanted to stay home that day and just veg out and do nothing. But Herman was like, come on, let's go. So we went. But oh yes, my show is going to be talking about nothing but absolute shit, absolute other pilots, other drones, and the governments. It's going to be fun.
Okay.
And when you bring your stream back, I'll definitely stop by and check it out. Paulie says he's cooking dinner and lurking. Well, we appreciate
Cooking
that,
dinner.
Paulie. Don't forget to,
What you
what's
making?
for dinner, first of all. And don't forget to click the like button when you guys come in.
What you making?
But like we were saying, getting back to the story in Florida, in Florida,
Well,
it's
actually,
okay,
Lawrence,
there
not to
are
cut you
other
off.
states. There are other
No,
states that have followed suit.
but Lawrence, not to cut you off, but what I'm saying to you, the whole thing was the fact about the bill in Arkansas and how they followed Florida into this nonsense. But Arkansas is the ones who have given their people 4 years, unlike Florida. And we're going to talk about Florida later. But unlike that, Arkansas gave their people 4 years, which is about basically the shelf life of the drones that they may have recently purchased with the release of the M30, the Mavic 3 Enterprise, and those are the drones. So with that being said, in about 4 more years, when they have to give them up, they could have already applied for that waiver period, and that waiver period that they have to get, to be able to use those, to show why they need to be able to continue to use the drones that they have. Unlike what you mentioned with Florida, we mentioned also last week, where Florida has the problems with having to retrain people because of new equipment. And we'll talk a little about that later on, but I noticed that what was it? They said that the Biden White House has their eyes on this gentleman here, Mike Whitaker, for the FAA's top job. Yeah, so he's supposedly a former Obama era FAA official who's supposed to supersede Mr. Phil Washington, as the nominee for the administrator for the position. So from what I understand, from what I can't hear, you said something? From what I understand, Lawrence is saying that
I was saying from everybody, from what they claim, everybody, the dude that they put in there was not qualified, which I understand. Sometimes you're not qualified for a job, but you have the credentials to get it. Just
that's all right.
Word of mouth, right? Exactly.
A lot of people get jobs like that. But what I was saying to you about this gentleman, Mr. Mike Whitaker, he joined the FAA back in 2013 as the deputy administrator and chief of the next generation officers, and he was responsible. They say he was responsible for modernizing the what is that? The United States air traffic control. And now I guess they're bringing him back because they've been having problems recently with the
near misses
with the air traffic control. So
you've been seeing it on the news.
So he was the one that fixed it. Why don't you just bring him back so that way he can get it right again? I guess that's what they're saying.
Oh, Paulie says chicken cutlets breaded with flaming hot Cheetos. No, Paul, stop. You're not having that for dinner. And if you are, enjoy.
The flaming hot Cheetos is for after dinner, right?
No, there's a recipe out there. Hey, Joe Black, what's good, man? DeMarco.
Or you use I got you. Use the flaming hot Cheetos as the breading for the chicken cutlets.
Yes.
I hear
have seen it. I've seen
stuff like that. How'd it come out?
my
Let them know
nephew,
how it came
yeah,
out.
let us know how it comes out, because before my nephew passed, or 2 months ago, we were actually going to try something similar, and we never got a chance to.
Because
So
everybody's got one of
he's
those things.
laughing. I don't know if he's serious or not now. Just got done work. Hey, Frank Rizzo, just be careful driving home. Travel with Godspeed, and not so much typing, dude. We appreciate you listening.
Unless you got one of those text to speech things.
Unless you're like one of these guys with these new Teslas now that be in a car 50 miles an hour snoring on the way
Oh no,
back
the text to speech works great.
in those cars. Oh,
Yeah.
he says first time trying it. He'll let us know, Herman. Okay, cool, Paulie.
Okay. Yeah. The text to speech, man. That's the thing. Yeah, Lawrence.
Brought me an
He
Air
said
2S. Okay,
he
congratulations.
what happened? What happened?
Congratulations to John Olson. He says his
happened?
daughter brought him an Air 2S for the 53rd wedding anniversary on the
Okay,
30th of May, so I
congratulations.
will be back in the air soon.
Okay,
That's what's
congratulations.
up. That's what's up.
Have fun,
Kudos to
man.
your daughter for doing so.
What were you flying before that? Because you're gonna love that.
Oh yeah,
You're gonna
that
love
1 inch
that drone.
sensor.
AJ, AJ,
Angie,
AJ.
I need a real soundboard like Ken Heron. I need to set up my stream deck and
What?
get that problem done, Herman.
No, I ain't gonna sing the song.
No, yeah. Lon, what's good, man? How are you, man? Hope all is well. Visual line of sight. You could build a fort with all the boxes of drones. People joke about that visual line of sight, and Herman has an ongoing joke that he doesn't want to build a house out of N1 controllers from
No,
DJI
the whole thing
because
is
everybody,
to build a house out of the DJI controllers.
yeah.
Every drone you buy got the same controller. You can link them all to the same controller. You get a new one with everyone, but everybody wants a smart controller. And eventually that's going to be obsolete, like the last one that I got.
That's true.
Well, not yet. I mean, I can still use it with the Phantom.
Yeah, I
still
guess.
use it with the Phantom.
But I have an
Phantom.
N1 controller in the box hidden away. I have another N1 controller that I just gave away because, like you said, after a while you start accumulating controllers, especially those N1 controllers without a screen. DJI, if you're listening, I get what you're doing. You made a radio for people who could still use their cell phone. But the best idea you could have came up with was to come out with a controller with a screen.
Well, I told you when I first saw that, that's what's going to happen now. That screen, now they made it that affordable. It's
You
going to
did
be,
say that.
that's
You
going to be
did
the
say
thing.
that. The first when
It
you
was
said
the best way to raise the price on the controllers again.
When everything is eventually obsolete. This is true, Lon. You're 100% right.
Have you tried buying a Phantom 4 Pro controller lately?
Dude, don't even get me started on that. You
might as well buy a whole new drone.
I needed a Phantom 4 Pro controller and a V1, not the V2, the V1 on early Lightbridge. And that shit is still expensive.
Lightbridge 2.
Hold on, Phantom 4.
The Lightbridge 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Lightbridge 2, you're right. Controller.
Yeah.
V1.
Crazy.
Let's see here.
Used is how much?
Yeah, everything used is $230.
Yeah, see?
Used is $230.
How much is a brand new controller with the screen?
I'm gonna pull up on screen because it doesn't make sense for me to look at this horror of this. But right here, they have a brand new one from Amazon for $450.
What happened? What happened?
Amazon, I'm going now. $450, 5% off. It's the lowest it's been in 30 days, they claim.
Jump on it.
It's $450 right there. But this is for a V1. This is a V1 controller.
That's the cheapest I've ever seen one.
It is. It is the cheapest we've ever seen.
Are you still using the tech? That'll be going tomorrow.
Okay, now let's see. No, we don't want a hard case. We want, let's see what else. Let's see, brand new. The V1. Hold on. New. Okay, 749 with the part 67. That part piece that. Oh, this is the Pro. Sorry.
No, you don't want the built-in screen.
What standard controller? One guy's selling them. Okay, so these V1s are go. Everyone's got the V2s.
They're offloading.
Right, but you get the gist of it, though.
Right, but yeah, well, you know, it is what it is. You know, it happens. It happens to be with a B.
Hey, Smeghead, what's up? Andy, how are you, Smeghead?
Andy.
People hoarding the radios.
What's going on, bro?
You see what Crypto Man put? It's people hoarding the radios. Can't blame them.
Well,
right?
I mean,
there's a redundancy. You need more than one radio.
You know what? I think a lot of people smash up the stuff sometimes and they get another one. And if you have sometimes a lot of people say, oh, I even have Care Refresh. Let me just buy a whole new version.
Like Jody says, like the Phantom 4
parts and stuff laying around.
Right, but like the Phantom 4 Pro with the built-in screen, like Jody says, you build it, and then the screen you buy it and the screen goes bad and you're screwed.
Well, with that setup, yes. Now, with all of the interchangeable controllers, back then it wasn't that simple. You know, back then it wasn't that simple. Your controller was, you know, basically unique to that model line, and then you know, like you couldn't use, like now I could use, you know, the same controller
on multiple birds, right?
2S.
Yeah,
and fly the Phantom with it.
True, that's very true.
You see what I'm saying to you? You couldn't do that years ago.
DJI was smart in doing that. We'll get back to the story, but DJI was very smart in doing that because you remember the problem. They had a list of suggested tablets that work best with their software. And now they've eliminated that tablet.
That was nonsense because you always needed the upgrade tablet to work, and then it was time for it was always in the early years. We had to deal with waiting for the apps to catch up with the technology of the tablets and the phones, and vice versa, with the apps working properly, and that was one of the difficulties with flying in the early years with the
But Lon has a valid point. You had the HDMI out.
But I don't want to get into too deep. But you know, before there was a Fly app, there was a Go 4 app, and before there was a Go 4 app, there was a DJI Go app, and back when the DJI Go app,
right,
it wasn't always, you know, as sweet as it is now, where updates work all the time and stuff like that. There was times where the phone, you know, updates weren't in tune with the DJI updates.
You're right.
Sometimes, like, you could have your drone out there and you get that black screen, and it'll come back, and it's like, oh yeah. And then there's just a lot of funny stuff going on, and sometimes it would connect, sometimes it wouldn't.
You see what Draymond put? He said the real issue is the lack of third-party DL ability on the built-in screen on both the Plus controller and the Smart controller. This is true. This is true. The lack of the RC controller. First of all, if you don't have the RC Pro, the RC controller is okay. If you're first time and you're getting used to and you're transitioning over from a tablet, that's good. But to be honest, I see everybody out there using the RC Pros with their drones.
You know what?
Now, don't say people are not making money out there using the RC, because I know they are.
You know,
I've done it. Hey, Jeff Norman.
I mean, it's a thing. I mean, the controller, if you're looking for a controller that has an integrated screen, it's fine. I'll tell you, if you need a controller that'll to fly your drones, and you just need a controller that's easy access. You got pop it on, the drone is on, boop, boop, boop. We going to fly, we get a home point, we going, we good, and we're gonna fly. It's the least expensive route with DJI as far as buying a controller that has the integrated screen.
Exactly. Now, Angie was saying
if you're looking, hold on a second, for something that I can download other apps to, no, that's not it. You can't download to it.
Right.
Now you go back to like your the flu vaccine controller, and you have to use a tablet, or you get the RC Pro, and unless you're using one of the later models and you're still on the smart controller, where you can download stuff too.
I'm not either, Lon. He says he's not impressed with the RC controller, that's why I go in to say it's for someone who's making that transition from tablet to controller with a screen, or if you're going to make that transition, go all the way with the RC Pro. That's the better radio with the external antennas.
No, I'm interested in that because I said this earlier on in when I first flew the
hit that like button, guys, if you haven't already.
If you didn't see my first flight with the Mini 3, it was a terrifying flight because that was before all the updates and all that other stuff that was done. The telemetry was all off and everything like that. And I had good range with the thing, and it flew out there all the way over and made it to Coney Island, to Kaiser Park, and it did its thing over across the Coney Island Creek and came back. The little flight path that I like to take with the drones. But all of the telemetry was off and stuff like that. It flew fairly decent. I wasn't too panicky about that, but like I said, it was before all of the updates. Everything was fine. By the time I took it to Florida, that was before the last updates that they had. They would before everything was working fine, and it performed well out there in Miami. So I'm not complaining about the making in that controller too much. Am I gonna fly my Mavic 3 with it? No. Am I gonna fly the Mavic 3 with it? No. And the reason why is some of the interference and stuff like that, the RC interference and stuff that it gets. I don't get that with the RC Pro. The ability to be able to download the third-party apps that is needed to do certain things.
Hey, TJ.
I can do that with the RC Pro.
Right.
If you, like I said, if you just need a controller with an integrated screen and you don't want to have to put a tablet on it, because I honestly, the N1, the flu vaccine controller, what's that? The RCN1? Yeah, that one. That controller. It is very front heavy and it bobs too much. The antenna piece that they expect you to connect the tablet holder to, it rocks a little bit.
Makes it top heavy.
And sometimes the whole controller becomes extra heavy. And I understand why guys don't want that. Now I have both controllers, the RC and the RC Pro. And to be honest with you, I have the smart control too. And to be honest with you, sometimes I don't even hook up the lanyard because the controllers to me are so much, they're so much lighter in the hand. I don't even hook up the lanyard. You know, with the Phantoms and stuff like that, you hooked up the lanyard.
Yep.
Especially how long you're going to be flying. when you got a tablet in front of you. Some guys, what was it at one meetup? The guy had almost a damn friggin' television in front of him. Was that?
Yeah, but that was funny
That the
about
big,
DJI. Remember the harness you could put on?
yeah.
That back those of you who haven't been flying too long, at one time DJI, because tablets and the radio was so heavy, they came up with a harness that you slipped your arms into like a vest, and it harnessed around your stomach and around your waist, and you could clip on like that. And it was interesting if you could get the harness on properly.
It was actually comfortable to use.
It was. The COVID controller.
Sometimes you're like a fool putting it on. The worst part about it is that after you finish flying, you would unclip the drone from your chest, put everything away, and then get back in the car with this thing on. So you look like you came from some kind of freak party or whatever with this thing.
Yeah, I know. All you needed was a strap on. Yeah. Andy Cortez knows DJI strap on. He knows. He knows he's had one. That's a sound of experience right there.
If you were a Phantom Flyer, you had to have one. Because if you wanted all the paraphernalia, you wanted to look cool with it.
No, that's true. For $300, the RC is cheaper than a standard Autel controller. It is a lot cheaper. When I get home, I'll show you a video of a kid that's got one on. That's pretty cool. Okay. All right.
They even have it now for the controllers now, you know.
Lon says, oh my God, I hate that harness. Yeah, you remember it.
Yeah.
You remember it. If you were flying back in the day, I remember, and we would go to meetups, Herman, remember? And everybody you wouldn't put your drone on. You spent time putting that harness on. Because if you didn't fold it away right, it got all intertwined.
It was a serious pilot when you came out with the harness on.
And remember that picture, that video? We were going to fly.
No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I
guys.
Don't. No, I don't.
Can I please tell that story? No, I won't mention names. Please.
It doesn't matter.
Hey, Mr. Weedle, what's good, man? We were out flying one night, and everybody had Phantom 4 Pros. We were flying Phantom 4 Pros back then, and I had my harness on, and somebody there was a popular YouTuber there from the city, New York. Here, we won't say his name, but he was there vlogging. So Herman was putting his.
He said he wasn't gonna say no names.
I didn't mention the vlogger, but anyway, Herman got caught putting his arm through. So on the video, you see, hey, and there's Novice Quads here. And I'm like, hey, what's up, everybody? And he goes, and this is Herman, Phantom Flight 101. And Herman's got his arm through. It was a crazy moment, but it was funny to look at and laugh. Because all he had to do was wait for him to put the vest on. But on the video, you see everybody with the vest on, and Herman's squiggling to put his arm through the vest. And it was funny. You had to be there, but I'll never forget that moment. Mr. Weedle, how are you, man? He used to attach his iPad. See, and if you iPad users out there,
Lord.
Attaching your iPad is like driving a Tesla. You got a television screen in your car.
You'll just be out there like this with the big screen in front of him trying to fly the drone with a 20-inch screen.
I have a 10-inch 2000.
I had to stop flying drones. My lower back hurt.
I was using and broke that harness out of him. Wow. Lon said he had a 10-inch 2000 nit and broke that harness out of mothballs. It's back in mothballs now. No, I believe I remember that harness well, yo. We definitely do. But anyway, getting back on track, Mavic 3 is in the news.
But you know what? No, Lawrence. Actually, what's in the news right now is Florida, right?
Yeah.
They have allocated $25 million to replace the police drones that they stripped away from them, as we know, when they legislated that
because of the Chinese drone
that they enacted that was prohibiting the usage of the Chinese drones. And basically we said that attacked the police, the fire department, and other agencies. But that was basically an attack, really.
Keep going. Give me a second, like 10 seconds.
Okay, as we really know that was mainly just really an attack on DJI, that it happens to be doing what it is, because they're the guys in the front of the drone. Well, actually, as far as consumer drones, I believe they account for actually almost 50% of the drones that are actually sold. So
Yes. Hey, flying flame.
and consumer drones, they pretty much dominate everything. As we mentioned, from with the conception of the Mini, now that they can pretty much cover up and down the table in every price range of drones, except for the under $300 drone. So yeah, what I was saying to you basically is that with all of this being said, this attack on Chinese made drones, and mainly being an attack on DJI, back in December of 2021, that they were added to the US Treasury's department's blacklist.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And that was a really bad thing, because put everybody in the drone community in a panic. But since then, we've had several drones that have come out. We're still enjoying the hobby. So guys, keep on flying, keep doing your thing.
And stop worrying about that stuff.
Keep pushing for what you believe in and what you want to do. But as of May 2nd, 2023, Florida lawmakers, has allocated $25 million, to help,
help them transition over.
The police, the police department replace the Chinese made drones that they were already using. And this is just to replace the drones. This is not on time spent in training guys in how to use these new
drones. Correct.
And like we said, I think that their list had kept them listed down to like 5 different. What happened?
I'm here.
Oh, your finger just made you disappear. 5 different drones or drone manufacturers, I think it was, that they could use. I don't know what it was. It's something to that effect. Something like 5 different manufacturers, I believe it was.
Right.
But the agreement that was reached by the lawmakers and the administration.
Hey, Tony.
Oh yeah, the lawmakers and the administration in Florida. Your man Governor Ron DeSantis. That guy.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, the guy that wants to tell you what you can and cannot read. But that guy has helped out with the police department with this 25 million to help them, replace these drones. So they came up with this to, like I said, because they don't want everyone to be using these Chinese made drones, but the new drones, right, that they claim are going to be, I guess, vetted, as they would say. They're going to be taken and inspected at the what is it here? The Center for Cybersecurity at the university at South Florida. Yeah, so that's what they're going to be doing. They have to analyze and inspect these newer drones for any cyber threat. So
okay, well, good luck to them. Ray Kelly.
Into a $25 million expense. What happened? It disappeared again.
I'm here.
Oh, the $25 million expense to replace drones that they already had perfectly good operation.
Which Lon mentioned earlier is not going to be near enough, but yeah, we shall see.
Well, the thing, what I'm talking about is that the $25 million that you allocate, right? I'm just wondering, like, the push and pull, like, like, is it really is the best worth the worst? And the push and pull that comes with this nonsense. You're trying to implement things that you're pushing for fear of, and people
Good
may
night,
be
Cortez.
people might with once you implement some of these things might be really reluctant to buy into the theory of you now operating certain things that you might want to do, that you want them to comply with and put their credit cards and their name and stuff too. And I just wonder, like, where does this stop? We all understand that it's about the cash. So the give back is the
That's right.
25 million to your police agency after the amount of money that is probably raising in campaign fund. And I understand the whole thing where guys say, I don't want to get into talking politics. And
I don't
I
either.
get it. But the one thing, and like I said to you, Norris, and you know this, here in New York, right? I'm an electrician, local 3, before anything else.
Hey, Charlie.
Everything is about politics. What your neighborhood looks like is about politics.
Yep.
You understand?
Yep,
Everything is about politics.
That is so true.
So to the start, don't get in too deep with it. It's just about money. And I don't know. They're spending a lot of money to, and especially when you start getting into public safety, you jeopardize people's safety when you start dealing with things that may not work as well. And just to,
I agree tenfold.
If I have the choice of 4 things and they don't work as well as the one that I've been using, I'm only going to choose the one that works as close to.
Agreed.
And it's still not as good if that is the case. So with that, I don't know. What do? You put people's lives in danger when you start messing with public safety. I don't think it's a good idea. I think it's foolish, especially when you know that the measures have been taken, what the issues are. It's all out there on everybody. I shouldn't say everyone. Those who are involved, those who use, those who know.
Exactly.
The vast public of people don't know. And that's why they are the ones that you can put that fear and create what you're actually looking for.
Well, this is actually what's going to happen in the state of Florida. Right now, state of Florida was drawing this beautiful thoroughbred, and now the government has turned around and said you have to use Chinese drones. So now they have to go from drawing this beautiful thoroughbred with a pencil to drawing this horse and finishing it off with a crayon. That's my point. I'm done.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying, law enforcement, first responders, and military do need the best. I agree with you, Ray Kelly, 100%. They do need top equipment.
Well,
you give them. Go ahead.
You can go up and down every live stream that we've done. We cover this type of material, and from day one, when they did this, and the first set of drones that came for the blue SUS list, the first report on those drones were that they were 3 times more costly and 3 times less effective. Implementing some of the newer drones that they've added to the list, I don't know how much better those drones are. There are some equipment on that list that I find that are very good equipment, but many of them I would not implement into some of the applications I would use or for some of the drones that these other companies make. You understand where I'm coming from?
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
And
I do totally.
To pay that kind of money to do certain tasks,
Well, you see,
it kind of
Gary says it best. If you ban Chinese products, Walmart and Dollar Tree will be out of business.
well, they're not trying to ban Chinese products. Then no
Just
way,
drones.
shape, or form are they trying to ban China. If America did that, America would sink.
Exactly. Charlie Drone Psych says it's like telling the fire department to put out fires with water guns and nothing else. Agreed.
Well, kind of, sort of, but what it does, but what it is that it's just trying to push an agenda that's going nowhere. Like we mentioned earlier on in the stream, Arkansas got it right. You came up with the bill to follow suit because you made Arkansas got it right because they let the cat out the bag.
Uh-huh.
Arkansas got it right, and their banning of the Chinese used drones gave their agencies 4 years to comply with the drones that they just purchased.
Yeah. Yeah. Brand spanking.
Which means that it would take them through the shelf life of those drones.
Right.
And it gives them also a way of waiver that exempts them from the rule altogether.
Agreed. Agreed.
Which means it's just about hustling up talk.
Once again, it's election year. Need we say more?
No, it's just about hustling up talk.
You know,
just about hustling up talk. You know what, Lawrence? You know what you forgot?
What's that?
You forgot the break for the.
Oh no, I didn't.
Yeah, you kind of did.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, you did.
I did not forget.
Because no, you did. Just say you did and just admit it.
I did not forget. You know why? Because I have it queued up right here. Excuse me for a second.
No, you don't.
For drone news and tech talk, tune in on Wednesday nights, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to Wednesday Night with those guys.
See, I didn't forget. I had it queued.
Really?
Yeah, I was on point.
Is that right?
Forget. I loaded it like 6 minutes ago.
Oh, yeah.
The shot in the drop. It also gives American companies a chance to get their shit together. Lon, if we had our shit together, we would be having this conversation right now.
Lon, you know what? I agree with you, but I'm just saying to you, the thing is, and I understand what everybody, or like the push, and everybody wants you to like
money in politics. Correct.
Let's just say like if DJI would sell it to an American investor, or if they had an American investor involved, okay, well, where would we be?
Yeah.
Flying a military drone now? Because all of the companies that were making consumer drones are now making military-based equipment, or kind of trying. You know?
Yeah, pretty much. But what it does Texas Instruments have anything to do with drones? No, they don't. But eventually we'll get to that point, John Olson.
Aren't they in China too? Or
yeah,
in Mexico?
At last I remember, they might be in South America. Who knows? But John Olson, that's the exact point. Once it starts with drones, then they could say, okay, you can't have this type of phone in the United States.
It's not going to go that deep.
You don't think so?
It's not going to go that deep. It's not going. Once we get past the election, everybody until
it'll be quiet. You're right.
Yeah, once we get past the election, it'll be gone.
You're right about that. Election year.
The guys in Arkansas put in their waivers, and when we start chanting over here about Mavic 4, Mavic 4. We need a new air. We need what an Air 4 coming up. We need that.
Yeah.
Now
We need a new
now
air.
now don't get me wrong. Like every chess game, the mini guys will be right up in front. We need a mini 6. We need a mini 6 because it'll be about 6 by then.
What's up, John?
Oh, they've caught the numbers up. Haven't you ever noticed they caught all of the numbers up together now?
Really?
Yeah. Everything's
I
a
hadn't.
3. Yeah, everything's a 3 now. So now what they're gonna
We're in the 3 series. They got to go to 4 before the year is out.
Yes, they gotta go to 4. So the mini guys are gonna be out front pushing by 4 years. Come on, they'll be looking to come out with a M40 and a
Or
M35.
M35. M35, M40, new series.
And a Mavic 4 by then, because everybody gonna get sick of the 4/3 sensor by then. 4 years.
Hey Gary, thank you. We need 30 likes by the end of the show.
We need a full frame sensor on that thing by now. Come on.
Listen,
let's get it.
Herman, could you imagine? The poor drone is barely managing that 4/3 sensor. You put a full frame on there, it'll be flying like this, nose down. What do you say? They scratching for that new Mavic 4?
You get that. In 4 years, come on, man.
That Mini 4?
In 4 years, dudes will be like, "Come on, man, the new drones. We need a Mavic 4."
Listen, I still have my Mavic Pro 1 too, Angie, and you want to know what? She still flies, and I still do business with her. That's why when I go do a job,
is it a Pro?
Yeah, it's Mavic Pro.
It's a Pro? Oh, yeah, okay.
Stop, Herman. But Herman's right. We drone pilots are like dope fiends. We're scratching for that next drone. You just finished eating ramen for a year and a half, and you want that next drone to come out. So now you're gonna go from ramen to cough drops for toothpaste. Buying these fucking drones. It's true, Herman. You're right. DJI needs a factory plant in the United States. You know what? They would probably sell more drones out of the United States to South America and places like that if they did.
Really?
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
What, a factory here or
in
a distribution here?
Factory? I would say a distribution.
They cut distribution. They did distribution at one point, and that was pretty much cut. But factory. Now let's talk about factory.
They wouldn't be able to afford it, Ray, because we charge them too much freaking rent.
The problem with factory is this. I can guarantee you that every part that's in a DJI drone, if it's not in the building, okay, I shouldn't say that. I can guarantee you that every part that's in the DJI drone, whether it's made by Joe Schmo across there or that guy across on the next block over, every part's in the same building being manufactured to go right into that same drone. So if they brought it here to manufacture, we're going to have to send over there for all of the parts to be shipped over here to go into that drone.
Exactly.
And then if you guys was complaining about the Mavic 3 and the price that was on that one.
They had all but broken ground on an assembly plant. This was already a thing.
Okay.
I didn't hear anything or know about it.
If you guys remember Wisconsin and the Foxconn, because I remember I tell you, keep telling you everything is political. Remember Foxconn and the Wisconsin plant that was built out there, but the thing with Foxconn was supposed to build screens and televisions and shit over there. So far, the jobs that came from that were the guys that brought the shovels when they broke ground with the big ceremony, with the groundbreaking ceremony. The guys that brought those shovels, the guys that did the construction work, and the security guards that are still watching the building.
Well, hold on. Lon says, how do you think Skydio does it? Skydio does it with anti-DJI propaganda as well. Did you know Skydio is one of the #1 drone companies in the world that promote anti-DJI propaganda?
Well, here's the thing. How does Skydio do what? I mean, what? I mean, build their own drone company? There's a few drone companies, one here in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just don't, I mean, attacking what DJI does is something different. But I mean, I get what you're saying. I mean, how does Skydio do it? I guess a group of guys get together and they put their minds to it and they make it happen. That's with anything.
There are drone, now don't get it twisted. There are drone companies in the United States that are making money. Here's one, Brink. They're
No,
in the
I
police.
said, but like I said, they're on that blue UAS list. They're not making drones. They're not making drones for the guys that come into the chat here to fly.
Yes.
They're making drones for people who are
In the industry.
business and public safety and search and rescue, military, and those agencies. And I understand that, and that works fine for them. But if everybody followed that, where would this community be? Holly Stone in it?
True.
Bugs in it?
True, Lon. I do know, Lon, that they assemble Skydio here in the United States using foreign parts, and they're doing okay. Right now, we went flying Saturday. Ray Kelly, hold on. Ray Kelly will tell you, we went flying Saturday. We had a meetup out here in New York, in Long Island. It was a random meetup, and there was a guy there with a Skydio, and he was flying Skydio, and once he saw all the DJI and FPV drones, he put his shit away. Skydio isn't a one-horse pony, but because they're in the industry and they're doing drone inspections.
I never said they were one-horse pony.
No, I'm just mentioning it in to be general about the conversation.
Okay.
It's impossible to be made from 100% US parts. We know that, Lon. It definitely is impossible. You cannot make something from 100% US parts because the United States isn't 100%. I'm just saying.
100% US made parts.
No, he's saying there's nothing in the United States made from, there's not a single drone.
Understand that. Totally understand that. And this is what I'm trying to say to you. Anybody that had a Skydio, right? And I never had one because I never had to buy one. Ask anybody that buys one what their flying experience is of it as opposed to their DJI drones. I don't have to tell you, they'll tell you.
Yeah, pretty much.
If you're going to use the beacon and let it follow you, then knock yourself out. Now, is there many uses for that? Sure. But if I want to fly it, like how I fly my DJI drones, that may not be the thing you might want to try.
Yeah, I agree. Skydio, hold on. Tony says Skydio is simply not the same as cannot compete with their current architecture. True, they created a niche for themselves, Tony. And that's fine. That's fine, but we need 20 more companies like Skydio. We need 20 more companies like Jobby and all these other guys who are trying to build sky taxis and stuff coming from the United States. And the problem is when you charge so much for rent, you charge more for rent for a guy in a building than some people. You get my point, Herman. You get what I'm trying to say, right? Here in the United States, if we get off our asses and stop trying to make so much money on the little guy and focus on the big guys with money, maybe it would work.
So you're pushing, I mean, I don't know, Skydio.
Skydio's not the only, Skydio's doing it right. And like I said before, they're creating their own niche.
Right.
But
listen,
out of everybody I know that owns a Skydio, they own 2 or 3 hold on, Herman. Out of everyone I know that owns a Skydio, they own 2 or 3 DJI drones.
Right. I'm not knocking Skydio. I just don't, from what you mentioned, and I've heard it mentioned 100 times already.
Take suggestions from the pilot.
That's
Okay.
that's bitch assness of, lobbying against DJI in where I come from. But it is what it is. I get it. Without it, you can't get anything done. Like right now here in New York, you got all of these people who are lobbying for more places for people to walk and sit down and just leave more garbage, and
Yeah, yeah.
and for bicyclists to ride underneath trucks, and not for the truck to be able to go up and down, trucks to be able to move up and down freely in our streets. I get it, because instead of paying $1.15 for a roll of toilet paper, they need to pay $3.15. But I get it. There's people are people. They want what they
Yeah,
want when they want it
but
when they
it's
want it.
hard to discuss that without going into politics.
Right, but like I said, everything is, and and talking about Skydio, I didn't want to get too deep into Skydio, but Skydio, it is what it is. I'm listen, I like a drone I can fly.
Right.
With the controller, and do what I got to do. Eventually, I know those days are coming to an end with some of the software and stuff that we have. Even like with some of the stuff that we're about to get involved in, taking the control out of your hand is, Lawrence, it's not my thing.
Yeah.
Even with doing the cement pours and stuff like that, that's not my thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Wow.
the Mavic 3 series, talking about the Mavic 3 series, we've talked about the Mavic 3 series up and down the board. It's been out, supposedly, it's been out almost 2 years now. Now the Mavic 3 came out with the classic, and now they dropped the Pro. We knew the Pro was coming eventually. The Pro is out now. Guys, I guess, are starting to receive theirs. It should ship. They should be getting them by now. Not, I should have gotten them. We saw some videos out, but now the question is going around the world now, which one is for you? Now, I saw Steven, good Steven,
Yeah, from the flyby guys.
Right. He put out a video as to why he was buying, or why he bought another Mavic 3. Now, besides the whole, was it the C rating and stuff that over there that he ran out and said that it was good for, because the what was, I guess, the Pro puts them into a different rating over in I guess in under the way their system works is a little different than us here. Lawrence?
I'm listening to you. I was reading the chat.
Oh yeah. So basically that's what he was saying about that. But as far as the Mavic 3 is concerned, I'm finding that it's not showing anymore on DJI's site. We said that last week and before that, because they're becoming harder to find. I did find a couple of them the other day on different sites. The price hasn't gone down anywhere.
Really?
It's still the same price. Still the same price, even though DJI
it's still $21.99. And Ray Kelly, I agree with you. The Mavic 3 drones are incredible, but this has to go with what drone is best for you. There's a lot of you guys out there that said, I'm not buying the Mavic 3. That's the one with the 2 cameras, the telephoto, and the 4/3 sensor. Herman, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm reading the chat.
Okay. And then when the Mavic 3 Classic came out, I know a lot of people went and brought that. Now the Mavic Pro is out, and they're offering you a little more than what they offered on the plate for the same price as the Mavic 3. And to be honest, only one who can answer this question as to Which Mavic 3 is best for you is you. I have the Mavic 3 Classic. Do I need a telephoto lens? No. If I needed one, I would get the Mavic 3 or the Mavic 3 Pro. The Mavic 3 Pro is, I am looking at it. I am salivating over it, but because I have the Classic. But right now, I don't have a need for it. I don't need to have it.
Well, here's the thing. When they start getting into the whole thing, right? And like I said,
hey Scott,
a lot of talk. See, and this is the thing. And I said this to you before, or it's when the Mavic 3 came out, I said to you, the biggest problem I have with this drone, right, is not anything that it was doing, because I never had the GPS issues until they tried to update it. And
well, can I go ahead?
What I said to you was that it was interesting that they followed the same pattern of coming out with the basic drone. I said, it just says Mavic 3. It's not. And I said to you, I can guarantee you guys will start talking about, it doesn't say Pro. It doesn't say Pro. Yeah, Mavic 3 doesn't say Pro. And the guys nitpicked from the price to the fact that all of the features weren't ready right away. Jackrabbit.
As an excuse to not purchase the drone.
And guys had
I remember that.
And it was what makes it so crazy is that guys that complained about the drone, I still say they were never going to buy one in the first place, because they didn't buy the Classic when it came out. Because what happened, they turned around and complained about the Classic price. And how it wasn't that much different. And I'm like, really? You know, it seemed like
going with what you're saying.
It seemed like it was a couple $100 more to me than what you were paying for the standard on the base, what's this in base, but what you were paying for DJI's top of the line drone with one controller and a battery, right? Because anybody that bought a Phantom or even the earlier Mavic Pro. Hold
on. Lon has the perfect example of what happened when they came out and people were complaining with what you're talking about. He says the sour grapes were strong with the Mavic 3. That's it right there with what you're saying.
Right. You know, I mean, those guys had it set in their mind they were going to fly Mini anyway. And, you know, they complained about the price of the Mavic 3, and then it became a thing where you only need that if you're going to be flying and shooting professionally. You don't need all that.
But getting back to what...
If you're not going to be shooting and flying professionally. You know what I mean?
You're going to leave it in auto anyway.
And my thing was, I just like a lot of that talk. And I was like, that's why I'm talking about the verbiage. Guys create verbiage just to be creating a feel I feel good about the decision that I made, so I don't have to worry about what he did. And that don't make sense to me.
I get it, but you know what I mean? I do. You have to. Well, you don't have to, but I want to know if you guys tend to agree with me. Right now, DJI is in a state where they have a Mavic 3. At one time, I'll get back to what I'm talking about, but at one time, DJI had a drone for every person. Now I'm saying DJI has a Mavic 3. They have a Mavic 3 for every person. Well, from the Classic up to the Enterprise.
You know what? I really wouldn't say that, because I mean,
but any creator or someone who's seriously in the drone.
I understood the Classic. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
I understood it because you were keeping in mind every drone until then had one camera in it. You know what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
And like I said, Classic, everybody, you know, there was no fly more combos from DJI at the beginning. You understand what I'm saying to you? Classic, coming back classic. One drone, one controller, one battery, top of the line, $1,500. That's what they did with this. That's what they did with everything else.
Every time it's a classic, it's $1,500. You're right.
So we're keeping them with the market. It came out a few $100 more. All right, what classic? I got that one camera in it. You know, the Mavic 3. We saw it. We came with 2 cameras in it. We know what the 2 cameras. What was in it. We had the telephoto and we had the 4/3 that everybody begged for.
Yep. We wish we had a 4/3 camera. Now you got it, bitches.
And
you're
honestly,
still saying the price is too much.
And honestly, honestly, if you bought that drone, I would not feel buyer's remorse for buying the drone.
Later, Lon.
When they did all of the updates, when they did all of the updates and it made it a very great drone. Everybody enjoyed the drone. And I'm still having fun with it, but doing some other things with it.
You see what Ray Kelly put?
What?
Avata Pro is coming. Now you get it, Ray. Now you get it. Seriously. Now you're starting to think like DJI.
Ray, as soon as you get people talking that, they'll put it out.
They'll put out an Avata Pro.
Yeah, put 2 more features on it, and everybody be like, it's not worth the update, but I bought one anyway.
Uh-huh.
I'm selling my other one. If you're interested. No, but
well, look at what's happening with the Mavic.
No, seriously, the Pro was a great idea, putting that 3rd camera in the drone if you could do it. But remember we mentioned, was that a precursor to a full frame sensor in the next model 4 years from now? No, but seriously, you talk about no, that's because I'm sorry about it. I'll make this point and I'll let you get it. But everybody ran out and talked about doing this, but now you talk about the fact that it came out with the D-Log M, right? With the Pro and the Mavic 3 Pro.
Uh-huh.
They had the D-Log M, but now with the updates, they brought the D-Log M to the other drones.
The other drones. My Mavic 3 has D-Log M.
Right. Yes. So even with that and the fact that the update was the zoom and everything on the Mavic 3. So I mean that drone became a little bit more enjoying, just like how you remember when they kept putting out all these different updates, and that the Air 2S was enjoying all these different updates that was given the Air 2S. It kept the Air 2S getting different and different and different on the same old batteries. Now the Air 2S is a great flying machine. It was good when it came out. Now it's great. It just needs a better battery life because everything has surpassed it in battery life.
This is true. Now here, hold on. Tony said quadcopters in tech says, I have not purchased a second Avata just because I want a larger version. Mm-hmm. It's got to be coming.
You say a larger version of that bigger one?
Yes. Because in the world of FPV and there are always the normal version, like a 5-inch FPV
so you
drone.
Want something like the size of the Brink joint.
He wants something something like about maybe a 7-inch. Like I have 7-inch FPV birds.
You've seen
everyone has 5-inch birds.
You've seen the Lima too, right?
Yes.
Something like the size of that.
Hold on, let's pull up a picture and ask him. Lemur 2, LEM. Hold on,
because the Lemur 2 is a decent sized drone. You might not see it when you see in a picture in relations.
Hold on, I'm pulling it. Yeah, they made that bigger than the actual Brink drone, to be honest. Hold on, they even got a video playing.
Well, that is their drone.
Yeah, the Lemur 2. This is it right here. This Lemur 2. Now, in drone size, Herman. Mm-hmm. From what I see here, this Lemur 2 is about the equivalent to a 7-inch drone.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say between a 7 and a 10-inch drone. Because I have a 7-inch drone right here, and this lemur's bigger than it.
Because this is the same drone that the guy that broke the window came in, and the guy threw it out the window and came
That's
back in.
about a 10-inch drone, 8-inch to 10-inch drone.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see where. Hold on. About
How
Frank.
big
Let's
is
click
it?
on it and see what's happening here. They just want to show you the video. The hell with the video, man. Never mind. But I see what Tony's saying, and I agree with you, Tony. He says this one. Hold on. And getting back to, we'll get back to that DJI controller, because Jody Drone Shot sent me a video of one.
Okay. Well.
Oh, Luminaire QAV Pro. Okay. See, now this is the size of drone he's talking about making it. Right, for production value.
Okay. I got you.
See, hold on. Let me get to. Right.
No, I hear what you're saying. You're looking for copyright strikes, but
right there. Yeah, that's about a 7-inch. No.
That's not much different than what it is now.
This one looks like a 5-inch drone, but I get it. He wants one beefier. Tony's saying he wants them to come out with a drone that's beefier. This one looks like a 5-inch, but they have much bigger ones.
I keep telling you guys this. As long as they're being made by DJI, they're going to be what we're getting. They're going to be those kind of semi, this is the best that they've actually come with. The last one was straight Humpty Dumpty,
Yeah, Scott, Jackrabbit says a 10-inch would be a bit. So, okay, figure between a 5 and 7-inch, because isn't the Avata a 4-inch drone? Someone in the chat correct me. Hey, JSK, someone in the chat correct me. I do not own an Avata. It looks like it's about a 4-inch drone. I could be wrong. That's all I can say. Tony, I hope they do. I'm waiting for DJI. I keep saying I will not buy a DJI FPV drone until they come out with one with a carbon fiber frame. All right. They seem to have gotten around it. Hey, Ray of Sunshine. They seem to have gotten around it with that was the door. Can you give me a second?
You got to get the door. Okay.
Expecting packages.
While Lawrence is getting the door, talking about the Mavic 3, I think that the upgrades that came to the Mavic 3 along the way, and now recently since the Pro has dropped, I think if the guys that purchased it, I would not have the buyer's remorse and just run to go and spend to get. I mean, be honest with you, I don't care what anybody gets for it, but how much were you going to get to run out and spend the exact same money and turn around and buy the drone again, and then end up with the contributing to your house building of a home of controllers? I'm like, how much more? I mean, are we going to do? Like, seriously, I just thought about it. They never put the drone out to be able to be purchased, just a drone, right? Or maybe a drone and a battery. If they'd done that, I think you would have got a lot of guys to say, oh, maybe I got the controller already. Let me do that. No, you put it out with the controller and the and so now instead of collecting the N1R, that controller, now we're gonna start collecting the DJI RC with the built-in screen. If I buy another drone, I'll have another one of those controllers. Come on, where does it stop? But seriously, Mavic 3 Pro, or Classic, which one is for you? Listen, they're all great drones. Whichever one you feel that you need to purchase, whichever one fits your budget, get it. I mean, if you really need that extra camera to zoom in and stuff like that, if you can find a Pro, I tell it to any one of you guys, if you can find a Pro, and then if you're interested in one that's like used, refurbished, whatever, it's a good buy. It's a good decent buy. Yeah. But if you really want the third camera, and you really feel that that's what you want to do, listen, you're not going to hear me telling you to buy. If you're making money with it, go out and buy. If you want to shoot your backyard 100 times with it, and that's what you want to buy, knock yourself out.
Right.
I'm not going to tell you how to have fun with it.
Right.
But
Exactly.
whichever drone is for you, I mean, they all have basically the same sensors across the board, except that the Pro, or should I say the Mavic 3 features the half-inch CMOS tele sensor that the Classic doesn't, and the Pro features the 1/1.3 CMOS medium range tele sensor that the original Mavic 3 doesn't have. We can start getting into the 48 megapixels on the medium tele. That's also featured that the Mavic that the Classic doesn't have, because the Classic only has the one camera. But like I said before, the D-Log M, that was the highlight of the whole thing. In the update, we got it now with the Mavic 3 and in the Classic. So you're not missing much with it. So if you got one, don't worry about don't feed into the peer pressure and the upgrade.
Don't try to
What
keep
you
up
got,
with the
knock
Joneses.
yourself out. Because most guys that bought the Mavic was interested in the 4/3 sensor in the first place. That's where all your video image quality comes in, because that's what DJI creates. They create cinematic shooters for the rest of the general public to purchase.
Right.
Create your videos, shoot your pictures, have fun with it, man.
Hey, Jims.
And moving right along from there, I guess we got another break from our sponsors, right, Lawrence? Before we have a wonderful little FPV one-shot. Lawrence didn't cue up the video.
I did not cue up the video, but I have it right here.
No,
so we will play it again.
See,
we will play it once again.
What's funny? You know what's gonna happen, right?
For drone news and tech talk, tune in on Wednesday nights, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to Wednesday Night with those guys.
You're gonna hear it from the people upstairs. They're gonna be complaining about you.
Yo, listen, tell them.
There's two different drops, and you
I got a complaint for the people upstairs.
There's two drops. You only play one. They're thinking that you're losing it.
Okay. Never mind. Yeah. We're working on some stuff here, but getting back to what you're talking about, let's see what happens. Tony says he wants a larger Avata. I still believe they will not be able to make anything bigger. Well, they probably will.
Bigger.
They probably
something that can bring you a drink from the kitchen.
Not that big.
Oh,
but big enough that they actually, let's just say, should be big enough. The drone, maybe they need a 7-inch drone.
Well,
for people, huh?
I was going to talk about the nice little one-shot video that you know what, Lawrence?
Yeah.
In all of the wonderful notes and stuff that I write down, I keep a track of everything. The only thing that I did not write down, and the only thing I do not have on the board here, is the one shot.
Really? All right. Yeah. Well, let me pull it up.
By?
Okay. Well, I'll put it up right now, and I will give full credit to War Jones FPV, and kudos to you for letting us show your video. Here we go.
Look out.
For the Pori Film Festival.
Yes, a film. Never mind. Johnny Walker to the rescue. Gotta do one of these.
I would love to. The problem is, getting enough serious people to contribute. I mean, he flew it great. That's a great art exhibit, being held by magnets or whatever. But everyone's using these avatas, and he lands in her hand.
Telling you, that's like the #1 drone now. The number
The
one drone.
avata.
Yeah.
I would agree with you.
As soon as let me tell you something, it was like a list of one shots, all Avata.
Yeah. Hold on, real quick. We were talking about the Phantom 4 controller, right? And the harness that's strapped on. And
Right.
Jody had sent me a video of this harness that's for a little kid. When you see the size of this harness, you'd be like, hey, I'm an adult. I could use this. Real quick, since we're showing videos. Hold on.
Harness.
Yeah, it's a harness for a
kid
able to fly a drone. Now,
Okay.
hold on. We'll pause it when they show it. But he has it clipped onto his shoulders. The father set up the radio. I don't know where this is, but that's a decent size FPV radio. There's the harness.
Right.
That's not
There's
too
also
bad.
another piece underneath the controller. See,
There we go. Yes.
that's
Now
what's
this is
holding it, sitting on that.
it's on his shoulders, right?
That's
And
similar to how the DJI they have the new chest mount for the
kudos to Jody for sending us that video.
They have a new chest mount with DJI for the enterprise controller.
Because the enterprise controller has a little bit of weight to it.
And it's a little bit wide.
Yeah,
but
well,
it's a very nice controller.
Thanks to Rob C. Aviano, I actually got to hold the controller of the T30. And
he let us check it out.
I've seen the T30 in places. I've never got to put my hands on the controller, but that was nice of him. We had a meetup Saturday. Ray Kelly was there, Herman, me, Deneen,
Actually, it was organized by Captain Ray and Rob. They had set this up. So a few guys showed up, and Rob brought the M30 out, right, for us to check out the M30. Let guys get pictures with it.
Marcel.
Roll around on the floor next to it.
Pretty much, but yeah. That was a good little mini meetup last Saturday.
Well, Lawrence, you know
another one, huh?
We talk about everything here. You remember when the whole phrase "drone in a box" came out a few years ago?
Yeah.
And we talked about this company, Percepto. Well, Percepto seems to be getting waivers and waivers and waivers and waivers and waivers to the point where they still want a waive, bro, because Percepto has been granted a waiver. Check this one out. You're going to love this one. You're going to love this one. They got a waiver for shielded shielded beyond visual line of sight operations nationwide.
So anywhere in the country they can fly infrastructures like power plants.
Yeah, pretty much that's what it is, because the autonomous leading Percepto has pretty much announced the fact that they've received this waiver from the FAA, which is the first of its kind, because they seem to be breaking ground on first of every damn thing. That will allow them to conduct beyond visual line of sight, right? Inspection, monitoring operations within, you listen to this one?
Yeah.
Shielded airspace. So now, we talk about shielded airspace a lot. We talk about shielded operations because we were hoping for shielded operations for it's very and I understand it, and I really feel that the FPV guys should really have shielded
Okay,
operations
Ray.
as well. But talking about shielded operations, this with Percepto, this operations that they will be doing will not be conducted with a human presence, nor will the use of detect and avoid systems be used to do this.
Okay.
And this waiver will enable, as they say, low risk, shielded, beyond visual line of sight operations to take place. Now, get a load of this one, because this is what actual shielded operations is, and how the FAA is classifying what they'll be able to do. They're going to be able to fly within 200 feet above and around property that's considered as critical infrastructure.
Okay.
So you remember when we talked about the whole drone in a box theory? So now they have the go ahead to be able to have this drone in a box autonomously launch and inspect and secure power plants, gas
Right.
facilities,
Right. Major
critical
infrastructure.
infrastructure.
Right. Critical infrastructure facilities.
Right. A Percepto is now allowed to do that. Now, this is what, 50 feet above the tallest point or structure,
Yeah.
and within the circumference of around the area of such perimeter.
That's good. I'm happy for them. The Recepto's been around for a few years.
The first ones I found that took on Percepto, I think it was what, Florida Power and Light, Water, or one of the light, I think it was Power, yeah. Power and Light. They were one of the first ones to do some work with Percepto here. And
Okay.
I think Percepto, if I'm not mistaken, might be Israeli based, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that they are. I believe that
Um,
they are. I could be wrong as well.
mhm. Well, this authorization that they have, they claim that this stems from what was that? Huh?
Go ahead. Finish what you're
Oh,
saying. I'll ask later.
that was the FAA had the committee for that would they put together for studying the beyond visual line of sight.
Right.
Percepto, basically, if you remember the last time we spoke about them, that they were trying to get past the exemption portion, and they did, because they proved that their autonomous drone in the box, the box, because one of the things that's required, I should say, for this is to have an inspection, but they don't say that you have to be present for the inspection. Now, with the camera systems and everything that's in place, and all of the redundancy and all the check systems that's in place with the Percepto and their launch, they found that they went above and beyond, so they was granted the exemption for the because they had to have had a waiver plus the exemption and all that other stuff. But they've now gotten past this, from what I see, and now they're able to just operate and do what they intended this thing to do from day one. So we complain about firmware updates, but I remember when Percepto came out, I was flying a Phantom 4 Pro.
Yeah. Yep. And they already had drones flying autonomously.
So we're worrying about firmware updates. They're finally now able to do what they're doing with this drone.
Yeah.
Or what they intended to do with this drone.
Right.
So don't worry so much about your firmware updates. And finally, now the drone is going to operate the way we intended for it to work.
I know we get firmware updates and get enhancements to the camera. right?
Well, no, I'm just saying guys will complain about
I
how
asked
the drone came out, but now it's not the. It had to get a firmware update to be the
True.
drone that they say it was supposed to be.
True.
And I'm just comparing it to something like, say, Percepto, who said that this is what we want to do with our drone, and here it is now 4 years later, 5
and they're
years
doing
later.
it
Now they're finally able to do it or are being
nationwide.
allowed to do it.
Nationwide. They won't have to apply for any more waivers. They can bring their drone in a box system into an critical infrastructure like an electrical plant, an oil processing, anything like that, and be able to patrol as well as do inspections.
Inspection,
But here's a
security.
question that I wanted to ask: did DJI start shipping the Mavic 3 Pro? Because I just got an alert from someone who says
They
that
should have, yes.
they're testing out their Mavic 3 Pro.
Should have, because I told me that it should have been here yesterday if I would have ordered it when it was released.
Okay. Hold on a second.
What happened?
Somebody's trying to. Hold on a second.
What's going on down the block?
No, I hear somebody coming in the door.
So why are you looking down the block?
Oh, well, because I may have had to get the shing.
Oh, I see you looking down the block over there.
Yo, I didn't know you had went out. I'm looking at the door, waiting to see who coming in. I'm ready to hit him with a chair.
See, you can't see it, but when you turn like that, it looks like you're looking down the street.
Oh, okay, I get you. It looks like I'm looking down the street this way.
Yeah.
I got you. No, I wasn't. But
Now, where is that?
this is on 110th Street.
Oh yeah, I know exactly.
In Harlem. This is actually over me. That's actually a waterfall dedicated to yeah.
Now you see that building? Was it? There's okay. There's the park, right? The one. Well, it's to your left.
My left. So that would be this one this way.
Yeah, right there.
Okay.
When they were building the building over there, because that's you said it's 110th Street, right? By the park.
Yes, it is right on the corner.
That's Fifth Avenue right there, right?
No, that's the other side. That's the other side. That's the west side of the park. This is 110th.
Where looks the damn same.
They do, but this one is lit up actually more. I can tell you right now. Hold on. 10th and Central Park, which, by the way, and I want to point out, is in Class G airspace. I didn't want to train. I'm switching to. I'll show you exactly where it is now. I'm just pulling it up on Google Maps.
Okay.
But here we go. This is where it is. This is called this area here. Oh, Frederick Douglass Sculpture and Waterfall. This is it right here. So if I were to spin the map this way, that's as close to the angle they're going to give me. But that's what that photo is behind me. There.
Okay.
Yeah. It was a good spot to go fly, only because after doing a job there, someone was like, "Hey, let's go fly in the park," and I was like, "Well, I won't go in the park, but I'll get some street shots."
It wasn't me.
Huh?
You said
no,
after doing
no, it wasn't. Hey, Waypoint, New England, how are you? Thanks. I was wondering how you walked through that skyscraper. Oh yeah, when I went, I got it. When I looked this way, they said I was looking down the street on there. So, oh, you're in the background. Okay, there you go. There you go. You're good. You're good now. You're out of the camera view. Sorry about that. But You know
No,
what?
but yeah, I'm
Don't
listening.
we have some more stuff to talk about here
We got a
before we
couple of
call it a
things
night?
to mention. Well, yeah, we do. What I did want to mention was that we talk about beyond visual line of sight, and everybody wants beyond visual line of sight. But what I'm noticing is that with beyond visual line of sight, these companies are having to do all kind of things to prove the security of the operation
Right.
to be able to get this waiver and be able to be granted to be able to do this from the FAA. You know, I
Okay.
know when a lot of guys start talking about beyond visual line of sight flight,
Right. Yeah.
if these companies that have these drones that have all this redundancy and these cameras and all these other things and sophisticated software, and you're talking about thousands of dollars in the air and on the ground to make
Right.
one flight possible. I'm curious to know how that's going to transpire into the drones that we're flying.
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
All I
Like
know is,
how is that going to be possible for us to do it? What were you saying?
well, as far as I know from all of the stories we have been doing on
Mhm,
unmanned traffic management systems,
mhm.
we will have to integrate or be erased.
Well, if it doesn't happen, if that doesn't happen, then there won't be a way to doing so.
Right.
But like I was saying to you, um, we always talk about these companies and some of the partnerships that's going on here. Well, it seems that Droneup has started a partnership with was it Irish Automated
Uh-huh.
Nation that will bring their AI powered CASA G technology. Now
Right.
you know that they're going to be bringing that to Droneup's automated drone delivery platform
Yeah.
to Droneup now and Irish Automated, like I said, is going to be partnering up to do this beyond visual line of sight operations. Uh,
Everyone seems to be
the
applying for that.
well, there's a reason for that because we talk about drone delivery, we talk about cargo drones and stuff like that. Uh, if they can't fly beyond visual line of sight, then it's useless.
True.
If they
True.
can't branch out further than,
For line inspection and stuff like that.
if they can't branch out further than a few 100 feet or a couple or 1,000 feet, which you can't see that thing anyway. If they
True.
if they can't do that, then spreading what they're trying to achieve becomes impossible.
I get it.
There's no way they could branch out and do some of the things that they're trying to do, test the waters of where they're trying to test without being able to do this. So
Right.
it's not possible. So eventually you have to test the waters, you know. So I don't know. What do you think?
To
Because
be honest,
Mhm.
we Droneup has been around for a good little minute now. A lot of
Well,
these
they're
companies,
actually hiring right now.
really.
If anybody has their Part 107, Droneup is hiring. They're hiring crazy for 107
I
pilots
do remember seeing
for
something on
delivery
LinkedIn.
in a couple of places, a couple of different states in the country. So they're hiring right now. So if you're interested, check them out, man. They're
Hey, good
hiring.
morning, Rob and
You
Sue.
know what I Hey Rob, what's going on, man? What I say about the thing here with this, what makes it so good because of the software and what Irish Automations does. This will allow Droneup to maintain the highest level ability, highest level of situational awareness. While they're conducting their drone delivery flights. So, because that you remember we spoke on their AI software and what it does and how it actually functions.
Right.
And now we actually did talk about when they did first announce this partnership. And now it's finally up and running and rolling, ready to go. This will cause their or will allow them to use basically the Casa G platform or the AI software
Hey, Lake Pilot.
as basically like a home base. And what it does is actually, I talked about this earlier on the stream, monitor the area for anything else flying into the area of the operation around the drone.
You see what John put?
The 360-degree.
I have to agree with John right there. And if
What?
you guys out there are looking for drone jobs, John, even though Droneup is hiring, JC said they're hiring but not paying crap. And we're seeing a lot of that. We're seeing a lot of that.
They are and they aren't. And the thing is, if you just got your Part 107 and you're looking to do something with it and you're not finding anything to do,
and you don't have the experience,
this is something you put on your resume. You don't have to stay there for 10 years, delivering toothpaste and shit and ointment. I mean, let's be real.
Yeah.
You work for a company, yeah. Come on, what we do? We organize flights, and we organize flights. We did flight inspections. We did all. Come on, you put all of that stuff on your resume. It looks cute.
Right. I agree.
I know how to operate a drone from takeoff to land without crashing into any people, places, or things.
So you qualify.
Yeah, give them the job.
But I will admit some of the prices yes, Droneup sucks for getting paid, but is good way to get experience and network with clients. See, Rob Aviano, he's a New York drone pilot here in New York. He's along with the series of pilots here in New York that know what it is to deal with companies that want to hire a drone pilot, but only want to pay wages slightly above minimum wage and stuff like that. You can, if you look on Indeed jobs and type in drone pilots, you'll get all kinds of answers for drone pilots, but those suckers are paying you $20 an hour. I'm sorry.
You know why? Well, see, that's because you got when you do stuff like LinkedIn, you gotta keep one thing in mind. Just like boxing is a single man sport, it's a one-man sport. Flying a drone is a one-man operation. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes.
So if I'm just a drone pilot, I'm gonna get jobs for just drone pilots. But if I'm the chief pilot in command where I work,
right.
I get offered different jobs.
True. That is true. JC says, Herman, that's correct, but only for that.
You understand what I'm saying to you?
Jim Stroning said 300 per hour or fly it yourself. See, that's the attitude. Seriously, I give people prices knowing the price I'm going to give them. Some of them are going to walk away and some of them are going to say, that's all, and hire me.
Right.
Plain and simple. Hey, Uncle Bill's Toys. What's up, man? Hope
Said
all
you
is
want
well.
what? Okay, no problem.
Right, right. When I go to a guy and he says I want this, this, and that, and Herman and I were approached. The guy says we're looking for a drone pilot. Herman and I, we what do? We accommodate you.
Okay, what
There's
do you want?
40.
Oh
My work
no.
is done here. Hey, I'd like to thank Gary Brant Ariels. If you don't know him, you should. But he's been pushing. This is
What
the 2
happened?
weeks in a row that he was pushing for 30 likes, and this week he was pushing for 40 and got it.
Okay, thank you, Gary.
Yes, we thank you, Gary.
Well,
And
how many times did you come in and come out and log in with different names and hit the like button, Gary?
what do you say? His burner accounts. Gary got like 5 burner accounts. He's like, yeah, we can get him. We can get him to that number. No, thank you. Seriously, Gary. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Gary.
It's a shame that we have to work that hard. I would like to think that when we do this live stream, we come here and we try to bring you a little bit of information. Sometimes it's
It
recanted
helps
on
out a
other
little
lives.
bit.
Sometimes it's recanted or restated on other live streams. That's okay. But we appreciate you and everybody else who comes to support us. Algorithm has been fed, Gary says. The algorithm has been fed. Thank you, Gary.
Hey, Lawrence.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
it's that time.
Yeah, but what I wanted to say to you, do you remember the Mars helicopter?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this company, Environment,
Yeah.
they've been awarded a $10 million contract by NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory.
Right.
Now check this one out. For them to co-design and co-develop concepts for the next generation Mars helicopter.
Really?
Yeah. Listen, I could draw 2. Yo, let me get 10 million.
We're not talking about crayons, though.
I went to school for art, bro. Let me draw.
I understand you can stay in the
I could
lines.
draw.
I understand you can stay in the lines.
$10 million. I need 10 million. I patted it behind one of these things.
$10 million, I will stay in the lines and guarantee it will fly.
Yeah.
Once you build it.
10 million. The matter of fact,
Once you hit it.
give me half of that. And I'm good.
Gary says 9 more to 50 likes, bro. But we're out of time. It's time to get out of
it's
here.
about that time. Yeah.
Don't
We'd like
forget
to
to
thank
check
every-
out.
Oh, wow.
Go ahead.
Go
You
ahead,
got
no,
it.
No,
No,
go
you
ahead.
got it.
No, go ahead. I said what you said. No, go ahead.
No, be safe, fly safer.
I thought you was about to say, don't forget to check out.
Yeah, don't forget to check out the live streams that are coming on tonight. Ray and Johnny Drone Flyer, Fly for Fun. You got Bill Coast to Coast. Who else is coming on? We have Jake Sloan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jake.
Who else is coming
I
on
don't know
tonight?
if Dobo and Eddie is on tonight. I don't know. I haven't seen them.
I don't either. They later.
I hope
Uncle
they're
Bill.
on
So
the night. Oh.
I try to keep up with the internet, but life
Mhm.
requests that I don't.
Okay. Well, anyhow, you said fly safe and whatever. What you said?
Be safe, fly safer.
I gotta remember that. Be safe, fly safer. But with that
Yeah.
being said, guys, we appreciate you all for coming and hanging out with us and listen to the Manager Hambo that we talk that you might hear later on someplace else. But like I said, we come and share information that we hear. We keep our ear to the streets on the drone news, as if you want to call it that. But we try to share the information that we get, and maybe it makes make it a little easier for you instead of hearing the rumor. But with that being said, we thank you for coming and hanging out with us, like I said once before. And we'll see you next time.
With those guys.
With those guys.